to our podcast. So if you don't catch on the live stream, there he is, Mr. LeFever. How are you?
What's going on, dude?
How you doing, buddy? You know, just, pandemic and all that stuff. Other than that.
Yeah, right. So over this, dude. Should I put my mask on right now?
Oh, dude, I just had to take mine off. We all got to wear them in the shop now. You know, it sucks. But
Crazy.
Got to do it. Got to do what you got to do.
Yeah, it is what it is. Hopefully it gets behind us.
Yeah, that's honestly, at the beginning of this whole thing, I was freaked out, scared the shit out of me. And, now that we're on the other side of it, just from a business perspective, I mean, obviously no one wants to get sick, but from a business perspective, it was freaky. You don't know what's going to happen. Yep. In Washington, you guys got shut down. You couldn't fish at all.
Yeah, it was tough. And I think, with Addicted, we had a ton of content filmed months ahead of time. And so we were able to just keep things rolling. Yeah, but thank goodness, because if not, we would have been in a bad spot.
I noticed that, dude. I noticed you guys kept a pretty steady stream of stuff coming out. You got a little creative too, and did what you had to do. And that's one thing I've always admired about you and your buddies, but specifically you, is that you adapt and make do. No matter what's going on, because from you as somebody who's creating fishing content, there's a lot of things stacked against you in that. It's not as easy as it was even 10 years ago, No,
it's not. That's the thing too, especially, there's a new competitor every day. Every day someone starts a channel and wants to create fishing content, and it's tough. It's tough to navigate and figure it all out, but I tell you what, it's been fun. It's been a lot of, especially the whole YouTube side of things, to learn it and figure out how to beat it. And it's a new challenge for me that I've loved.
Yeah, well, because you were so focused on Facebook for so long that, now it's all YouTube, huh?
Yep. Now it's so recently we've started cross posting. I'm sure you've seen we've been posting some of our videos on IGTV and Facebook and all that stuff. But yeah, for years it was only Facebook. And then about July of last year, I said I'm going to start focusing on YouTube. I was starting to meet some dudes that were on YouTube channels, and I would see these kids come and, I'm grinding for 10 years building this business, and these kids are ahead of me in months on YouTube. And so I'm I'm doing wrong. I need to figure something out here. So I started focusing on YouTube. And that was July of last year, and we had 13,000 subscribers. And now we just broke yesterday 120,000.
I remember it was seemed like 2 weeks ago you were trying to break 100. Yeah,
right. I know. Yeah. It's crazy how fast it's growing. It's just daily. It just keeps compacting on itself.
That's awesome. It's almost it's just exponential. Once you reach that certain hump and you cross over it, it's that 100,000 was so hard to get. And now it's 120, 200, 300, the jumps seem to be bigger, right?
There's got to be something there when you hit a 100K threshold or something. YouTube's got to start prioritizing you or something, dude. Because even just our impression wise, last month on YouTube alone, and some of these guys watching are going to get some little secret freaking data. But last month alone on YouTube, they showed our videos to 15.8 million people. Yeah. 15.8 million impressions in 1 month, which is mind to me. That's quadruple what they were showing just 4 weeks ago.
Sure. And you're absolutely right. If good content's good content, but that's not just an algorithm, man. You guys have stepped up your game, the quality of what you put out, the not only the quality of what you put out, but the quality of the talent, so to speak.
Yeah.
Just the people presenting it, the group of guys that you got working with you right now. Everybody knows that Cameron's one of the most respected fishermen in the Pacific Northwest, if not the United States. The dude he's just a wealth of knowledge, and he's very well spoken. But the other guys that you got playing along with you are just they're just funny, and they're entertaining, and they present themselves well, and it makes you want to continue to watch. I watch more of your content now than I did, a couple years ago, honestly.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we put a lot of work and time. I saw someone ask a question. Is this an open forum to ask questions? Absolutely, guys. Fire in.
Yeah, feel free.
Want to ask? Fire away. I'm sure Alex is looking at him, and I'm checking him out too.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, so I think that's the quality of your content really does help for sure. Not only production value, but just like the information too, you know?
Yeah, dude. Yeah. So one thing we've been trying to do more and more is we've kind of been known for steelhead, salmon steelhead. That's kind of what we've been known for our whole lives. I'm sure as you've seen the content evolve, one thing I've really been doing is trying to focus on all these other fisheries, walleye, trout, bass, crappie, you name it. You know, like we're anglers. We love salmon and steelhead, and obviously we're never going to get that out of our blood because we're born and raised salmon and steelhead fishermen. Yeah. But I catch anything. I don't care what it is. Swims and has fins, I want to catch it. And so that's kind of been my goal over the years, is to become a platform where if you're trying to learn about fishing, I don't care what it is, Addicted is like a household name. Like if you want to know about crappie, people recommend Addicted Fishing. If you want to know about X, they recommend Addicted Fishing. So that's kind of the overall like long-term goal. And we're going to just keep adding to the content bucket and hopefully helping a bunch of anglers out there and get them into all these different fish.
Yeah, man. Yeah, somebody said Jordan's videos are the funniest. I would agree with that. Jordan's a character, man.
Jordan's awesome. He's an awesome.
Chris Clarkson's on there. What's up, buddy? So to that point, though, you've had a lot of rotating faces that, you know, have helped you along the years, and people just kind of, life happens, they get married, move on, do something different, move, all that stuff. I've always wondered, you know, really for me in this business, I've got myself and the small handful of employees that we have here, and our employees, team members, whatever you want to call them, they're all badasses. I don't really have to worry about them too much. But do you ever worry about having such a large crew of people and having the potential for somebody to do something without your knowledge and damage what it is that you've built? You know, I mean, it's kind of a tough question.
No, you're right. It's really hard.
Wouldn't get into specifics, of course, but you know, it would be something that would worry me.
No, you're right. It's a tough question. And so I'll step back a little bit and just kind of, some of these people watching might not know, and I'm sure you know the story, Alex, but when I started Addicted, it was just a group of friends. It was really, you know, I grew up in a weird scenario than most kids, you know, not having much of a family, a lot of drugs, a lot of alcohol abuse, in and out of foster care. And so I never had a family. Legitimately, like to this day, like my family is my friends and my people that I surround me with, and my wife and kid that I have now. Yeah. And so with Addicted originally, that's what I was doing. I mean, I think I was subliminally building like this family of friends. And like you said, over the years, some people have gone and been disconnected or gotten jobs or moved away or whatever. But I've always just kind of kept those people in the group, just always part of Addicted, kept them filled in. You know, there's certain people that are part of the business, right? You know, there's about 6 of us that are really part of the business side of Addicted. But as far as like the group of what we do, we're all family and we're all part of Addicted and kind of ambassadors of it. But one thing I tell every single one of them is, if you do something to jeopardize my name, I will be the first to throw you under the bus. And so I just tell people that right out the gate, like, look, if you can't conduct yourself in a responsible way and you do something that potentially may jeopardize my brand, I am going to come out instantly publicly and say, hey, unfortunately, this person made this decision in his life. He's no longer affiliated with Addicted, and that's how it is.
Yeah. No, it's how you got to be. It's a weird spot to be in, isn't it?
It is. And, you know, to be honest, I've never had to do it. I've never, over the years, there's been guys that have come and gone, but it's been mutual. It's been like, hey, you know, I'm going to go do my own thing, or I have this new job I want to chase, or whatever it may be. And it's been mutual. But, you know, what am I trying to say there? I mean, yeah, that's kind of it, really. It's just been
Have you ever had to have a conversation? Have you ever had to have like hey, let's go grab a beer? You might want to.
Oh yeah. I've had to have those conversations.
Head right.
I've had those conversations a ton over the years with Addicted. Because even though it is like this big group of friends, it's still, I have to manage it. It's still like a big team, right? It's still a big team of people that are all have one goal in mind. And that's to just keep growing it. You know, I've kept to my guns from the beginning of Addicted. When I started Addicted 10 years ago, the motto was educate, entertain, and inspire. And I feel like from you know, even though we've got sponsors and we're getting paid and we sell apparel and we do all this, I still have kept to my core of educating, entertaining, and inspire. And I give out on a weekly basis 5, 6, 7 videos of free content that I don't charge anyone for, a wealth of knowledge. You know, some of these guides that give away some of this, they don't have to. You know, Cam doesn't stand in front of the camera and tell you exactly how to go out and catch fish. We do that because I truly believe that I want anglers to be successful, because if they're not, what's the point? You know, like, we need fishermen in this sport, because regardless of what people want to think, it's dying. It is dying every single year. And if guys go out there and they don't know how to catch a salmon and they try 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, they're over it. Like, they move on to the next hobby, you know, and that's just the fact of the matter. And so I try really hard to help anglers be successful out on the water so we can keep building the community and hopefully get more and more anglers involved in the sport, because it's being attacked from every angle.
That's an interesting point. It brings me to another question that I was going to have for you is, you know, recently I had a good discussion with somebody who runs well, I know multiple folks who run kind of groups that get inner city kids out into the outdoors. And, you know, I grew up in a rural environment. I believe you did too, pretty much. You know, I was surrounded by good old boys that were just like, get that boy out there fishing, boy. You know, I mean, it was, that's how it was. It's just how it is. And so, you know, when you don't grow up in that and the world is becoming more unlike that, do you have to kind of focus your intent in bringing young anglers into the fold, into those inner city situations, and try to get those kids in? And if that's true, which I believe it is, what, if anything, is Addicted doing to kind of put some focus on not only bringing young anglers into the fold, but also people from different backgrounds?
Well, you'd be really surprised, and that's one of the reasons I focused on YouTube and tried to grow our platform out. You would be so amazed at how many messages I get from kids all over the country that, like, one thing I hear a lot of time is, Jordan's my second dad. You know, I've heard that statement multiple times from kids that don't have learn how. Sorry, Alex, I don't know what happened there. For some reason, I lost connection, so I paused. Is it good now?
Yeah, you seem to be good now. You got a good internet? I think I do.
Yeah, you know what? I didn't have my Wi-Fi on. That's why it did that. I just
okay
on my phone. Sorry about that.
No,
anyway,
that's all right.
Back up a little bit. Something that I've been working on for a long time, speaking to kind of like inner city stuff, is, you know, I grew up in foster care. And one thing I always have wanted to do since I've started this Addicted thing is figure out a program and a way that I could start educating some of these foster kids and teaching them about fishing and taking them fishing. And I am very, very close. It's been a lot of hoops to jump through, figuring out insurance, figuring out all these random things that we have to do to like make that happen. But I'm very, very close to starting a program where on a monthly basis, I take 10 to 12 foster kids fishing. I teach them about fishing. And not only that, but I hook them up. Like, they're going to get rods, reels, everything. And my goal with that is to hopefully influence some kids just like me. Because like I said, you know, I truly believe that fishing saved my life. And that's where I came up with the name Addicted. You know, I was addicted to fishing, where my family and my dad and my mom and all these side was addicted to drugs. You know, that was their addiction, and fishing was mine. And so I feel like if I wouldn't have loved fishing like I did and wanted to do it so bad, I would have went down another road. I just know it.
Yeah.
So I want to hopefully influence some kids that same way. And so I'm working on that, and it's been a long, gnarly, annoying road. It's crazy how many hoops you have to jump through with bureaucracy
Oh yeah, yeah. Especially with kids where that's involved, you know, you got to make sure that, you know, you got to cover your own ass, but you got to make sure they're covered as well. You know,
Exactly.
that's a tough one. That's a tough one.
So something no one knows about yet. You're getting that exclusive right here on Instagram Live with Steelhead Gear. But I've been working on it for a long time, and I'm excited. Yeah. It's something I really am passionate about, and I hope I can make a difference.
So Hell or High Water says fishing pulled me from the drugs. Amen. Yeah, you know, it's tough, man. There's a lot of kids out there that don't have a positive outlet, and whether it's sports or fishing or you know, music is a big one. I think that having it's not even so much the thing as it is the mentor. It's the person that you look up to that does the thing, and you want to emulate what they do.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that for you, you had a mentor. Can you remember who that would have been?
Yeah, so I absolutely. It wasn't really one single mentor, but one thing that my foster family did once they realized I was really into fishing and outdoors, and that was something that I loved, they put me in Boy Scouts.
Nice.
So Boy Scouts of America, and that to me, that's where my mentors came from originally, kind of growing up, was that group of people that I got to go fishing with and camping with and hiking with and all these random things was Boy Scouts. I actually became an Eagle Scout.
Oh, wow, I didn't know that, man. That's
yeah,
cool.
yeah. So I'm actually an Eagle Scout. I did that a long time ago, and it really shaped me as a person. You know, there's a lot of bad out there about Boy Scouts, but Boy Scouts shaped me as a leader. I mean, the leadership skills you learn in that organization is insane. It's crazy. And not only that, like just all the things you learn about the outdoors, you know, knots and fishing and camping. It's just stuff you don't learn in the everyday world anymore. And so that was my mentor. I didn't have any people, you know, my foster family, they didn't fish. They hated it. They didn't like it. You know, and so I didn't really even get to fish very much until I got my license. So like from age, you know, like a little kid until I was about 12, I didn't fish much. Then when I turned 12, I went into foster care for good. They took me away from my parents forever.
Yeah.
And I still, from 12 to 16 until I got my license, I like fiended to go fishing. Like literally, like that's all I talked about with my foster family. And then I got my license and started just going every second I could.
Yeah, that's funny. Did you find that as a kid, I in a lot of ways, I mean, obviously we didn't have the same upbringing, but in a lot of ways over the years, I don't even know how long I've known you now, long enough to say this. Long enough to say that we've spent enough time, we've had enough long conversations to know that there's a lot of similarities between the two of us. But do you find that when you were a kid that there was like that one celebrity that you looked up to, or that one type of like person that you looked up to because you didn't have that at home, you know?
You cut out a little bit in there, but I think your question was, your connection cut out a little bit, Alex. But I think you were asking, was there like a celebrity or something that I looked up to?
Yeah.
Growing. It's funny that you say that, and it came full circle because someone that I kind of there was two people in the kind of world that I kind of looked up to and thought, man, I that's my dream, and it was Kevin Van Dam and Bill Dam. Those two guys, I remember watching them on TV. I remember thinking everything about him and thinking I'm going to be a pro bass fisherman. Obviously, this was a time when I didn't realize I lived in the world of salmon and steelhead.
Yeah.
But that was my dream, and I looked up to those guys. I remember watching them every chance I getting DVDs for Christmas from them.
Yep.
Those were the guys. Those were the guys I kind of looked up to and chased. On more of like a winning and a drive level, it was Michael Jordan.
Of course.
You know, I grew up watching. I loved basketball. It was one of my favorite sports. And that guy, his work ethic, and I just always tried to model off that. I remember reading a book about Michael Jordan and what he did to be where he was and how he got there and the trials that he went through. And people, you know, a lot of people think Michael Jordan was handed a lot of that stuff, and he worked his ass to get where he was. And so he was someone that I looked up to on that aspect. But it's crazy to say that too. And then Kevin Van Dam just recently, you saw, came out and went fishing.
Yeah.
Addicted.
Yeah.
And it's a real moment I've ever had in my life. It was crazy.
It's weird, you know, not a lot of people get asked that question. And when you do, you have to go, oh, whoa. Yeah, actually, I really did idolize this person. I didn't realize it at the time, you know, but you know, I did the same thing. I grew up. I don't know if you had it, but we had TNN Outdoors.
Yep.
And so you would get Orlando Wilson, Bill Dance, who else was
Roland
there?
Martin.
Roland Martin.
Yep.
That's right. Yeah. And I mean, every Sunday I would live for that stuff. We'd sit and watch that and just eat our cereal and just watch Bill dance. And it was so fun. And then the Bassmaster Classic, you watch that dude with the big cowboy hat.
Yep.
And it was always sponsored by Redman, you know,
Yep.
and it was that, yeah, dude, I remember that stuff. Such fond memories of that stuff. That's what got me, you know, really into wanting to fish was those shows.
Yep. Same with me. Yeah. My dream growing in high school, it was like, I'm going to be a pro bass fisherman. I used to go, that's all I did from age 16 till I was about 19. I bass fished every chance I got. When I turned 18, I bought a little 1970s bass boat and like restored it. And my dream was to be a pro bass fisherman. But then something happened when I turned 20. I caught a steelhead. And when I caught a steelhead, it was over. Like that's all. At that point forward, I thought bass were the lamest fish in the world. Now now it's come back around, and I still love to bass fish, obviously. But like back then, like what are bass, dude? Bass don't run. Steelhead take 50-yard runs off your line. You know, like it was just totally different.
It is. It's a completely different thing. Let's see. MW Nowak says, Marlin, saw you in your badass truck in Battleground over the weekend and was starstruck.
Nice, dude. Next time you see me, say hi. Wave
yeah,
up.
somebody, I think it was, what is it? Metal Chick 117 was like addicted and steelhead. What's going on? So obviously some of these people have never seen the Brokeback Mountain meme floating around on Facebook.
All right.
We got to make shirts with that.
Oh man, that freaking whole thing was crazy. I'm so glad a lot of that stuff's behind us, man. I feel like I outgrew a lot of that stuff, and I know you hear over the years that happens. You know, you kind of outgrow the hate, age or hate. And I think when we were in a point in that time in addicted, there was just a lot of people that just wanted to hate for no reason.
You know what, people, you never completely get away from it. We get it all the time, and it's just, you just delete, you know, whatever with those people. And it at first, when you first start experiencing it, you get super pissed off, and then you start to realize that, like, you just gotta move through it, you know.
Yep. And I didn't handle it that well. When I first started getting like a lot of hate, I was just on this rampage of like fighting everyone and arguing with every single person. One time I was so extreme and crazy about it. And I'm a man enough to admit that some of these things I did were wrong and I shouldn't have done it. I was so crazy about it. I did a whole live feed to literally just expose these two idiots that I was just so annoyed at, that they were hating on us so much, that I did a whole Facebook live feed on our Addicted Fishing Live to just thrash on this dude. These two guys, actually.
Yeah.
Just because I was so frustrated that they were doing it to us, I was like, you know what? That's fine. You want to do it to me? My platform's 10 times bigger than you. I'm going to make you look like a fool. Yeah. And I did it, and then I realized after I did it that was so dumb, because then they won. They won. That was what they wanted. They wanted me to do that. And so I've learned over the years that, like, the hate's always going to be there. There's nothing you can do to get rid of it, no matter how great you are or things that you do. People always focus on the things that you didn't do, and it is what it is. And I've learned as I've gotten older to just freaking blow it off and not care. Sometimes I'll still text you and be like, what the hell's up with this idiot? But I try to not let it affect me.
Yeah, you wouldn't be human if it totally didn't affect you at all. But yeah, it's to the point now where it's funny. You know, there's been multiple times, and you know this, there's been multiple times where there's been people who have talked trash, and I've never engaged with them. And you give them the opportunity. You know, you're in public forums all the time.
Oh yeah.
They want to come out and actually talk about it, then, you know, they have every opportunity to come man to man and have a face, or, you know, or get in your face and say whatever they want, and they never do.
They never do. And then the one time we confronted him, actually, me and Alex, it's funny. Remember when we confronted that guy about it? He just backpedaled so quick and was so scared and didn't know what to say.
Yep.
And it's just, that's your typical hater online. They're just
Yep.
behind the keyboard, and if you say something when you see them, they don't want to talk about it.
Nope, because it's keyboard warriors, man.
Exactly.
Yeah. So,
well, dude, one thing I got to say, I got to give you some props. And if a lot of you guys watching right now haven't seen it, some of these designs that Steelhead Gear have been coming out with lately, I'm not going to lie, there was like a little bit of a lull where I didn't like, I wasn't like, it's not that I didn't like it. I just was like, not really feeling that, you know?
Yeah.
But recently, some of the stuff that you've been putting out, I've been like, I have to have that. I'm buying it, or I'm going to get that one. Like, that's awesome. So if some of you guys haven't seen some of these new designs Alex is putting out, I highly recommend go check them out because he's got some sick stuff coming out.
Thanks, dude. This one just came out. This is probably one of my favorite ones we've done.
That was one of the ones I was like, I saw that today, and I was like, I'm going to need one of those for sure. And then by far, this thing was like, I'm a huge fan of America. I love our country. I love the United States, and that's why it's sad to see what's happened to it over the last few months. But, like, this shirt is amazing, dude. Anything that, like, promotes our country and the United States, I just love.
Yeah, so the idea for that came from, we were like, we want to just have the most, like, over-the-top, ridiculous thing that we can do, but that also is like, that's kind of badass, right?
Yep.
And we were initially talking, we were like, you know how, like, was it Poseidon rides the dolphins with his trident? You know what I mean? And that was kind of the idea behind that. So
dude, I love it. You guys haven't seen this shirt, you can see he's freaking rocking riding the steelhead.
Yep.
It's epic.
Yeah. Well, you guys just put out a bunch of new stuff too.
This new thing, Alex, where I'm just gonna limited drop everything now. I'm not in the apparel business. I'm not in it like you are. I'm not trying to like sell apparel on a regular basis. I put the gear out and the merchandise out because I want all of our fans and followers to be able to rep it if they love Addicted. So now going forward, that's what we're going to be doing, is doing these drops. So like quarterly, we'll do like a summer, a winter, a fall, and it'll be limited edition items, certain things that we'll just never make again. We'll come out with 10 of them, put them out, people buy them, and then we just don't make them again. We're going to do that going forward. And that's what we just tried. So we put out our summer drop. This is one of the hats that we made. And it went really well. I was super stoked with how it went. A lot of fans and followers came out and supported and bought all sorts of gear. And we did some custom like lures and stuff. Lots of cool things. And it went really well. I'm stoked with it.
Yeah, I think I like the red, white, and blue version of that hat.
Yeah, that turned out really good. Red, white, and blue. And my favorite design, I think, was we came out with one that was like fishing is in my blood. And we took like a heart. We took like a head or a trout head. And we had it kind of like turning into like an actual like heart. And it's like right on your chest. So it's kind of, supposed to be like fishing is in your blood is the idea.
Yeah.
I love it. It really was a sick design in my opinion. It sold really well. People seem to love it. We actually have some hats coming out this week because the hats were late. The embroidery place wasn't able to finish them in time for the drop. So I was like, we'll just put them out separate. But
no, that was probably my favorite one of the whole release. That was a good one. We did one with a heart a long time ago, and it wasn't as cool as that, and it didn't do that well. It kind of looked more like band merch than anything.
Oh, okay.
Sometimes I hit that vein, and I'll make something that I think is really cool, but it doesn't really fit the. I've gotten better over the years.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's the thing about apparel is it's a learning. Like, that's what people don't understand. You're in a blessed scenario, Alex, because you're able to. You're printing all your own apparel. You're doing all that yourself. So you're able to experiment a little bit where it's been scary for me. If you guys didn't know, Alex from H&H and Steelhead Gear, they kind of kicked off our apparel for us and started creating our apparel originally for Addicted and kind of got it going. And they were printing on demand for us and getting it going. And it was an easy way to do it because you don't have to house the inventory. You're able to just print the stuff as it goes. Where when you do something like a drop, it's scary. Because you have a lot of investment up front. You're like, crap, what if the stuff doesn't sell, But thank goodness for our fans and followers. It sold really well. I see a guy said he needs the Legend 2.0. So we did a lot of custom lures.
Yeah.
And I did like a killer fish, a custom painted killer fish that we called the Legend 2.0. And it sold in like seconds. like sold out, like literally, like I didn't realize it was going to be that popular. So
Yeah.
sorry about that, dude. We'll have some more custom stuff coming, but unfortunately the limited edition legend lures are gone.
Yeah. Some of the tackle you guys have been putting out looks pretty legit. You know, you've been working with some pretty good companies.
You broke up, dude. For some reason, your phone keeps breaking up. I don't know why.
Let me see if I can move it. What I was saying is, you guys have put out some pretty legit tackle lately. You know, working with some pretty good companies.
Yeah, dude. Thanks. I appreciate that. We've been spending a lot of time and development and effort on products. We partnered with Mustad Fishing, and we are trying to just create all sorts of fishery Northwest and salmon steelhead specific quality lures for salmon and steelhead anglers, and we're working on a lot of cool stuff. Tons of cool stuff coming. We got twitching jigs and steelhead jigs, but that's not even the half of it. Like some of the stuff that we have coming I'm excited about it. Really excited.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's next for you guys? Are you I mean, obviously, I'm sure some of your plans got thwarted by COVID.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I know some of ours did for sure. But what do you got in the works? What's, you know, anything that you can share that's kind of your next thing that you're working on?
So product wise, I can share a little bit. So one cool thing that we've been working on for a while is fishery specific hooks with Mustad. So Mustad's been in the fishing industry for years. They were since the 40s. Way. They've been manufacturing hooks since before any hook manufacturer on the planet. They actually mold their old metal, but they've never been in the Northwest. They have hooks out here, but they've never, like, they're more in saltwater land and all that. So we're working on fishery specific, like trolling hooks, some bead hooks, some bait fishing hooks, some different siwash hooks for salmon and steelhead anglers, some really epic stuff that we've been testing, and we're excited to bring it out. So product wise, that's a little secret that I could let out of the bag that's going to be coming in. Some of it will launch probably in late 2020, and then some of it will come out in 2021. And then content-wise, we have some cool stuff coming. We filmed a lake trout series. We went down to Central Oregon and did some of the lake trout fishing down in some of those lakes in Central Oregon, and we have a series coming out in the next, hopefully 2 weeks. We'll be releasing it on the YouTube channel. Yeah. And we have another series that we filmed back in November where Jordan went on a little adventure by himself and fished 7 rivers in 7 days and caught a steelhead caught a salmon on every single all 7 rivers. And he started in the Olympic Peninsula and he ended in Northern California.
That's awesome.
He starts up in Olympic Peninsula and travels down and catches a river all the way down, catches a coho salmon or a chinook in each one of the rivers. And we filmed that, and we have that coming out soon, but it's been a little bit more of a tedious editing process to get that one done. So it was filmed in November. We would have liked to have had it out sooner, but we lost a hard drive. We actually had the hard drive go corrupt, and I had to pay like $1,200, Alex, to get the hard drive back.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I learned some stuff through this whole process. Like one of the things we do with Addicted with our content, we film a ton. We have just gigabytes and gigabytes of content. And a lot of times we store it on these big hard drives, like 10 gigabyte hard drives or 16 gigabyte. And you're not supposed to do that. Like apparently these bigger hard drives like go out easier. And I didn't know that. Like they have a tendency to fail easier than like 2 terabyte. You know, we're using like a 16 terabyte hard drive and putting all of our content on there.
Yeah.
And you can't do that apparently. So we learned some stuff through the process of blowing and losing $1,200. It sucked. So.
But it was worth it to get it back, right?
Yeah, thank goodness. I mean, we had 6 episodes of Addicted Life on there, the series on there, all sorts of tutorials. And I was stressing like, oh my gosh, we're about to lose all this. I mean, I was like in a bad spot, depressed.
Wow.
And we were able to rescue it. So shout out to the guy in Northern California that we sent it down to that rescued it for us.
That's awesome. Well, shit, man.
What about you? What do you got next?
Well, somebody on here mentioned addicted beer, and we've been talking with somebody about doing a beer. Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah, I'm obviously excited about me.
Here, right?
Yeah. So that would be cool if we could make that work. And then we've also been kind of talking to somebody about possibly doing a boat. So that would be kind of cool. I won't get into any more of those details, but
hold on.
What's that?
What'd you say? It cut out again, dude.
Oh, sorry. We've been talking to somebody about possibly doing a boat.
Oh my gosh, that's cool.
Yeah. So if we can hammer that out, I'm excited to see that, because it might be in a like an addition, kind of like your Harley Davidson F350 or whatever. You know what I mean? You get the whole package. So if we can make that work, I'd be excited about that.
That's good.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see if it actually pans out. You talk to a lot of people about a lot of different things, but right now we're just getting through the rest of summer. We got a lot of new stuff that we're working on as far as like product wise, and outside of kind of what you've expected to see from us, get a little bit more technical stuff.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about that. Like over the years, Steelhead has obviously become a major name when it comes to like lifestyle apparel, and people rocking it. But like, I've been waiting for you guys to venture into, you tested it a little bit with Grundon's with that jacket and stuff, but I've been waiting for you guys to dive into doing some of your own technical gear and stuff like that. And
right now we've had some kind of internal shakeup stuff. You there?
Yep, I'm here, man.
Okay. Yeah, we've had some internal stuff going on that we needed to get over, but now we're in the spot where we can hit the gas on that.
Cool. That's cool. And is that similar where you're working with a company, or are you going to try to do it your own?
It would be our own.
Sick.
Yeah. And we had a really great experience with Grundon's. That jacket's badass. We sold a ton of them. We did a lot of the soft gear and stuff too. But it really showed us that between that jacket and the coolers, it showed us that people are ready for that level of stuff from us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Cool. The coolers sell good?
Yeah, the coolers are badass, man. There's a lot of people make a really nice cooler, and that one, for two reasons. The wheels are legit, because a big ass heavy cooler is hard to tote around, and the fishing rod holders that you can get with it are legit. So it's I'd roll that thing out onto the dock at Triangle Lake fishing with my daughter and stick the rods in the rod holders and
there, hold the trout.
Yeah, exactly. So
nice, man.
It's cool. Yeah, those have been good. But yeah, so we got a lot of cool stuff coming down the pipe, but we just got to get through this weirdness that's going on right now.
Start doing the whole technical side of things, because Addicted is not currently working with anyone, and I want to. And I we've looked into, obviously Addicted's looked into doing some of our own stuff as well.
Yeah.
And it's just, do I want to do it? Do I want to add it's like a whole nother business. And that's
what we've been playing with, man. It's the warranty and the stocking and all that stuff. And, there's room for it. We'll get there, but I just want to play it smart. I'm not a dummy. I'm not going to dive in head first into something that's going to ding us too hard if it doesn't fly, Yeah. I stay in my lane, bro.
Stay in your lane. I try to do the same thing with Addicted. We do creative stuff here and there and work with companies, but like I said, my focus is content. Yeah. I just want to keep putting out content for people and having them enjoy it, and in turn, everything else will fall in line.
Yeah. That's, what? Just stick with what you know. Do what you enjoy doing, and do it with authenticity, and that's all you got to do.
Exactly.
Yeah, you guys do a damn good job of it. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of what you've built, and I'm glad to see that it's grown even more, and that in some small way you've allowed us to be a part of it is super cool. So I appreciate it.
I mean, I'm one of those dudes that's like, like you said, me and you have known each other for a long time, and over the years, dude, Alex, I can't thank you enough for just how many things you've helped with Addicted, and people don't even realize how much you have helped and what you've done over the years. And And I just am a loyal good dude. I respect that, and I will be a supporter of steelhead for the end of time. There won't be a time that I ever don't support it. And that's why I told you last time we talked on the phone, dude. Like, you ever need anything, you need a promotion, you need some. Obviously, you know, I can't promote your coolers, but you know, you ever need something from me, dude, you just hit me up, and I'm totally down to, like, I mean, that's why I get on your website and buy your gear. Like, it's a respect thing, and I think the same way. I think it's so cool to see. I can't count how many times I've heard, oh, that's just a fad, it'll die. And I'm like, oh, yeah, you said that 2 years ago, and steelhead's still killing it. So, like, it ain't a fad, dude. It ain't going anywhere. Yeah, exactly. 7 years of you doing it. So it's cool. It's awesome. And I heard the same stuff about Addicted. You know, we're not going to last, and people aren't going to make it, and blah, blah, blah. And it's cool that we've been able to continue in this industry and stay relevant. And I don't think we're going anywhere. I think we've solidified ourselves.
I don't plan on it.
Nope.
And, you know, it's going to take more than the pandemic to shut me down.
Absolutely, dude.
I can tell you this, though, man. I was legitimately freaked out that we were just going to be forced to shut down completely. And that was freaky. But, you know, luckily we've got on the other side of it. But hopefully in the next coming months, things will start to get a little bit better, and we'll be able to get up there and do some fishing with you. And that's what I would like to see.
That's a fact. You know, like, this year was going to be the year I was going to go striper fishing with you. I mean,
that's right.
And I, like, had it on the calendar. I'm like, I got to call Alex around April. And then everything hit, and it just I mean, I was striper on my mind. I was planning on, I should be in iCast right now. I should be at iCast.
Yep.
And that's cool. They're doing this whole digital thing this year, and it's sad, man. I can't wait for our world to get back to normal.
Yeah. Yeah. And it will. It always does. You know, it's just a weird, funky time, but well, best of luck to you guys. I'll keep watching. Hopefully everybody on here does too. I appreciate you hanging out and talking with us, and you know, I'm sure we'll do it again soon.
Yeah, dude, thanks. I appreciate it as well, man. Thanks for having me, and let's get you on, let's get you on some of our stuff. Let's get you on a podcast and get you into a live feed and all that jazz. I think that'd be fun.
Yeah, man, I'd be totally down. I'll come up there, and you guys can outfish me any day.
Yeah, all right, sounds good.
All right, buddy, have a good one.
We'll catch you later. See you guys.